Yassine Bono is the goalkeeper for Al Hilal. Moteb Al Harbi, Renan Lodi, Kalidou Koulibaly and Joao Cancelo, the back four. Ruben Neves and Nasser Al Dossari, the deepest midfielders. Mohamed Kano and Malcolm will provide the width. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic will play in the 10. Marcos Leonardo leads the line. As for Fluminense, as we said, 44-year-old goalkeeper Fabio, Juan Pablo Freitas, Thiago Silva and Ignacio the back three. Samuel Javier and Gabriel Fuentes the wing backs. Facundo Bernal, probably the deepest midfielder, with Nonato and Martinelli given a bit of license to get forward, and John Arias alongside Herman Cano the front two. Our referee, very experienced indeed, Danny Macaulay of the Netherlands, a fixture in the Champions League. Diogo Jota passing away in a car crash at the age of just 28. A shock that has been felt all around the football world. Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva are being remembered here with a moment of reflection. Joao Cancelo and Ruben Neves feeling this so very deeply, his Portugal teammates. An incredibly tough moment. I can tell you that both Joao Cancelo and Ruben Neves were in tears, as you would expect. A teammate and a friend of theirs tragically passed away alongside his brother. And Simone Inzaghi, the Al Hilal coach, has talked about it and the impact. He said yesterday was a day filled with sadness, true tragedy. He said even though we tried to work in preparation for the game, the atmosphere was very different. So a somber way to begin this first Club World Cup quarter-final, and we are underway. Fluminense playing from left to right as we look at it. Al Hilal attacking the goal away to the left-hand side. We'll bring you all four Club World Cup quarter-finals across the TalkSport network. In the early hours of Saturday morning, we'll have Chelsea's quarter-final against Palmeiras. They will play the winners, whoever wins that quarter-final of this quarter-final. Fluminense with plenty of the ball early on as it's played forward by Ignacio, who caught his man on the follow-through there. Ignacio, and the referee Danny Macaulay on the scene straight away, and an early free kick for Al Hilal.
Yeah, an early marker laid down there on Marcos Leonardo. One they're going to try and keep quiet, especially early on. Inside 1 minute, he's found himself nursing a little bit of an injury.
Voice of Luke Chambers there alongside Kevin Hatchard for this one, live on TalkSport 2. Here's Ruben Neves, the former Wolves midfielder, midway inside his own half. He'll be dropping in between the two centre-backs a lot in this game. Simone Inzaghi, the coach of Al Hilal, who only joined a few weeks ago from Inter, who he took to a second Champions League final in the space of 3 seasons a few weeks ago, lost 5-0 to PSG in that game. He does favour a back three. That's the build-up shape that he prefers. Bit of space for Malcolm on the far side. He went to ground, but he got back up. He finds Marcos Leonardo, who plays the ball early and towards Cano on the left-hand side, waiting for support to arrive. Just chip the ball towards the far side. Renan Lodi, edge of the penalty area, the tall figure of Milinkovic-Savic, out to that far touchline, and now Kalidou Koulibaly, the former Chelsea defender, got a big reputation when he was with Napoli in Italy. Didn't quite happen for him at Chelsea. We didn't see the best of him, but there's no doubt Luke Chambers is a quality player.
I just think it's his physical status that he has, his athleticism that we've always admired, and every single club inside of Europe over the last 5 or 6 years have been linked to him, so it was a bit disappointing for him when he did go to Chelsea that we never really saw the best of him.
Loose touch from Moteb Al Harbi there, as he tried to advance down that left-hand side. One of the several Saudi Arabian internationals in this Al Hilal team. You look at Mohamed Kano, he's got 60 caps for Saudi Arabia. Nasser Al-Dossari in midfield, got 29. It is a mix of homegrown talent, expensively acquired world stars. Here is Ignacio, the number 4 for Fluminense, midway inside his own half, imposing centre-back. He played it out to the right-hand side, looking for Xavier. Xavier was beaten to it. Now Hilal have possession. It's a nice little turn by Cano in midfield. He lays it off to the bull of a man, Kalidou Koulibaly. Would not fancy a shoulder charge with him. Played forward by Milinkovic-Savic, but they just about shut the door there at the final moment. It was Freites who made the challenge, and now Fluminense look to break. We can't get very far, and then João Cancelo unable to keep the ball in. We've had 3.5 minutes here on TalkSport 2. Fluminense 0, Al Hilal 0.
Yeah, early on Al Hilal were really sort of throwing a few men forward, trying to get high pressure on inside Fluminense's defending half, committing bodies forward, feeling comfortable when they're trying to get pressure on early doors.
John Arias, the Colombian, who's been one of the best players in the tournament so far, just pokes the ball in field, tries to get the better of Koulibaly, wins a throw, but nothing more than that. On the far side, the Fluminense left. Fluminense have gone 10 games unbeaten in all competitions. Their last defeat all the way back on May the 11th. That was against Atletico Mineiro. Going well in the Copa Sudamericana as well. That's the South American equivalent of the Europa League. They won their group. They'll play either Bahia, the fellow Brazilian team, or America de Cali in the last 16. Freites plays it down the left touchline, and then a rather loose touch. That's one of my passes there, and straight out of play on that far side. It was Fuentes who's come in as the only change to the team. I don't see that every day.
Well, I was going to say, if you see me play, you get one of them a week off me.
But only one a week.
Yeah. No, real sloppy. There was a couple of sloppy touches early on, especially for both sides, and they found themselves in positive positions. So probably that little bit of nervousness, expectation.
It's worth bearing in mind what a huge game this is for both. They've both had continental success in the last few years. Fluminense qualified for this tournament because they were South American champions a couple of years ago. Al Hilal were Asian champions 4 years ago, and then got to the final of the Asian Champions League the following year, only to lose that final. These are big hitters in their respective confederations, and they've reached this stage on merit. Fluminense beat Inter in that last 16. Al Hilal beat Manchester City. It's played forward there by Martinelli, the number 8 for Fluminense. It should be dealt with by Lodi, and it is. It's just hammered out of play for a throw on the near side of the Fluminense right, but it's a good spell for the Brazilians.
Yeah, that's the first bit of play they've had inside Al Hilal's half. Looking really confident, really bright, playing balls in and around the box.
Arias just tried to slide a low ball into the penalty area, but Al Hilal stand strong and are able to clear out of their left back zone, but it goes straight back into it. Arias, stocky character, very small, trying to make an impact, just shreds on a player there. It was rather clumsy. It was Moteb Al-Harbi who he trod on, and the free kick goes Al Hilal's way.
Yeah, there's certainly been a few physical challenges going in early on. I think a little bit clumsy, that one. Arias is obviously used to going forward, so he's put a little bit of pressure on and then ended up falling over the top of it.
Now the old striker's challenge. He goes out.
He knows exactly what he was doing. It's interesting to know though, Ruben Neves has really started in that central back 3 position. He's not moved into midfield at all, even in and out of possession, so it'll be interesting to see if he does start to step forward a bit more.
Yeah, what we often see with Simone Inzaghi teams is those wider centre-backs getting forward, but rarely the central one. But of course he's only been in charge for a few weeks. It was a good challenge by Fuentes in there on that left-hand side, winning the ball back for Fluminense. 7 minutes gone here on TalkSport 2, the first Club World Cup quarter-final. Fluminense 0, Al Hilal 0. If we don't have a winner after 90 odd minutes, then we will go to extra time. If we still don't have a winner at the end of that, it will be a penalty competition to decide who goes through to the semi-finals to play either Palmeiras or Chelsea. Remember that game, Palmeiras-Chelsea, coming up on TalkSport in the early hours of Saturday morning. James Fielden alongside former Chelsea defender Scott Minto for that one. You'll hear every kick on the TalkSport network. Here's Ignacio for Fluminense. Inside right channel, a few yards inside the Al Hilal half. Back out to Martinelli. He's only 23. He's a Fluminense youth product, Martinelli. He's already racked up 262 appearances for the club, including this one. Koulibaly under pressure, goes back to his goalkeeper Yassine Bono, gives a big old left boot to that, hammers it upfield. Bono was absolutely outstanding against Manchester City, but he conceded 3 goals, I hear you cry. Well, I tell you, if it wasn't for him, he would have conceded 7.
Well, I think they had 33 shots, didn't they? So I think he still had a fantastic game.
14 shots on target.
Yes, it's
phenomenal performance. Handball, and a very clumsy one from Nasser Al-Dossari. He's just given away a free kick to Fluminense. Fluminense is coming in from the left touchline, and he finds the deepest midfielder, Facundo Bernal, a Uruguayan international. He's only 21. It's a mix of youth and experience, this Fluminense team, as is often the way with Brazilian sides. You get young talent who they're trying to develop and often sell on, and then you get the grizzled veterans. You've ended up being both, Luke. Develop all the way through.
Honestly, you set yourself up. Thanks a lot. Yeah. No, this is the man though. As a centre half, you just watch him. You could watch him play for hours.
Thiago Silva out from the back, finding Martinelli. And I say all this, Fabio, who's the goalkeeper for Fluminense, is 44, and I can talk all I want about how he's played over 1,300 games. It isn't it amazing he's playing until he's 44. Well, he's still 2 years younger than me, so it's just something the commentator has to bear. Bit of space here for Fluminense down the left, but they've given that away rather cheaply, and Koulibaly takes it now, works it infield to Ruben Neves, and as Luke Chambers says, he's playing this deeper role, but now he steps into midfield, and now he gives it away, and this is where they're in a bit of trouble. And then a rather clumsy foul, and it had to be on that far side. It was Donato who was brought down, and we get the first yellow card of the evening, and it's Sergej Milinkovic-Savic who made the challenge, and he was kind of forced into that by Ruben Neves having his pocket picked.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the first time Neves has stepped out of that central position as the defender of the 3, and he gave the ball away very, very out of character and sloppily, and he's cost his teammate an early booking, which he's going to have to be very, very careful with. It was a real nice drop of the shoulder from Donato, sucked him in, but he really flattered him there. It's an opportunity now for Fluminense to put the ball into the box and see if they can create themselves a chance.
Bit of a shrug of the shoulders there from Milinkovic-Savic, taking one for the team. He's not one of the numerous players tonight who's on a yellow card already. If they do get a second yellow card, then they will miss the semi-final, but if you just have a single yellow card, it gets wiped after the quarter-final stage. So free kick, inside left channel, Arias stands over it, too far out for a shot, and it's played short actually by Fuentes to the left corner of the penalty area, back out to Fuentes. His cross is charged down, and that's going to be a corner on that far side, the Fluminense left.
Yeah, I think Al Hilal were expecting the ball to be delivered in the box. He's worked really well down this left-hand side combination. They get themselves a corner again. Now they've got a real opportunity to put Al Hilal under pressure.
They've taken it short and quickly, and Arias can deliver the ball in. Bono on the move, but happy to see that one sail over his head and sail over the head of Herman Cano. 37 years young, Herman Cano. 201st appearance for Fluminense. He has 106 goals. It is a phenomenal record.
Incredible, and it was a great opportunity for him now. It's a nice ball to the back post. He just couldn't get off the ground enough to get on the end of it. But yeah, he needs to be finding himself in those positions as often as possible in this, especially these first opening 15-20 minutes.
Space here for João Cancelo, who of course has played for some of the biggest names in European football. He's been at Benfica, Inter, Barcelona, Bayern, Man City, Juventus. It's not a bad CV. There's Renan Lodi coming forward on the inside left channel, 10 yards inside the Fluminense half. It's really interesting how much he's pushing forward from that centre-back role. That role was taken up by Alessandro Bastoni in the Inter team under Simone Inzaghi, and Renan Lodi is good on the ball. He rolls it to the edge of the D for Marcos Leonardo just lays it back off to his fellow Brazilian Renan Lodi. Out it goes to Al Harbi, up from left back. Now Al Dosseri plays it to Marcos Leonardo, had to move quickly, so you get the ball away from Bernal. Al Hilal trying to tiptoe through. Here's Joao Cancelo into the feet of Milinkovic-Savic. Out it goes. That's Cano on the far side there. Keeping the ball moving here, Al Hilal. Ball into the feet of Marcos Leonardo. He got too much on it, and the ball goes through to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, you could see what he was trying to do, and that's the first real time in the game where Al Hilal have had some real controlled possession, and they look quite dangerous when they do get in those positions. And Marcos Leonardo just dropped in 10 yards off the 18-yard line and couldn't find the ball round the corner. You could see if he'd got it right, Malcolm would have been in on goal.
Fluminense had something of a strange group stage. They drew 0-0 with Borussia Dortmund in a game that they dominated, but they beat Ulsan Hyundai 4-2. Then played out another goalless draw with Mamelodi Sundowns, and they were terrific in the last round, beat Inter 2-0. Wrote their luck a bit in the closing stages. Lautaro Martinez at the post, and the goalkeeper made a few fantastic saves. Fabio scored a late second on the break. They've been rock solid, especially with this man on the ball, Thiago Silva. It's his third spell with Fluminense. It's very much the club of his hearts. He's got a good relationship with the coach Renato Gaucho. So he's a very open guy. He's given me good advice down the years. He's humble, he listens to what I have to say. It's a two-way relationship. If you think 3 spells with Fluminense is a lot for Thiago Silva, Renato Gaucho is on his 7th as the Fluminense coach.
Yeah, and I think that's the relationship any player wants with the manager. Open, honest, respectful from both sides, a two-way thing, not just a man that's just telling you what to do every single minute of the day.
And nobody wants that, sure.
No, but you do find it.
Some people need it.
Yeah, definitely need it, but it's not really the one to be able to create that winning mentality and environment. It's got to be a collaboration for me.
Renato Gaucho also played for the club in the 1990s. He won the Copa Libertadores, the South American Champions League with Grêmio twice, once as a player, once as a coach. He's won the Brazilian Cup twice as well. Top coach, quite a character as well. More on that in a moment. Here come Al Hilal trying to clear the ball from their own defensive third, and they needed Mohamed Cano to come across and win a free kick there because it was a really poor clearance. They got themselves into a bit of a mess there, Al Hilal, and got out of it by the narrowest of margins. Yeah,
I'm not really sure what Lodi was doing there, whether he was trying to make a pass or whether he was trying to clear it as far as he possibly could, but it fell into the centre of midfield, and they've luckily bought a foul and probably just eased himself out of it. Fluminense were unlucky to not really get an opportunity on the break.
Fluminense coach Renato Gaucho, not short of a quote or two. He described himself as having been a better player than Cristiano Ronaldo. He dubbed himself the King of Rio and then the King of Brazil. He once gave himself a round of applause at the end of a press conference. He's not short of confidence. Here's Renan Lodi for Al Hilal. 0-0 after 16 minutes. Oh, nice idea. He tried to curl the ball into the box for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, and the ball just sailed over the Serbian's head and behind for a goal kick. But you could see the idea. You are listening to the FIFA Club World Cup live on TalkSport 2, presented by DAZN. Watch every game of the FIFA Club World Cup live and for free on DAZN. Sign up at dazn.com. Luke Chambers, that was a really nice idea, just not quite the execution to match it.
Yeah, we criticised Lodi a couple of minutes ago when he gave the ball away in his own third, but that delivery there, and Milinkovic-Savic, that's where he gets the most out of his game. He loves getting forward into that box.
There's a little link up there between the Brazilian forwards Marcos Leonardo and Malcolm. Couldn't quite find Malcolm with the neat flick, and Fluminense able to clear it. Free kick won by Al Hilal. Inside right channel, it was Gabriel Fuentes who made the challenge, former Colombian youth international.
Yeah, just another clumsy one. We've seen a few of them already, but they're just stopping the flow of the game. I think Al Hilal are really sort of settled into their stride. I think they look a lot more comfortable on the ball when they're trying to move the ball through the lines at the moment. I think Fluminense are sort of just having little moments, little bits bitty game so far. They've not really imposed themselves.
17 minutes gone in Orlando. Live Club World Cup commentary on TalkSport 2. Fluminense 0, Al Hilal 0. Fluminense of Brazil, Hilal from Saudi Arabia, and that's a mistake there. Given away really cheaply by El Dosseri. Another on the move, Fluminense into the area, and the shot goes over the top. It was Nonato who got himself into a good position. He let fly left-footed, and the ball flew over Bono's bar.
Yeah, we spoke about it before. Al Hilal looked comfortable in possession, but they've been very sloppy on 2 or 3 occasions now, and Nonato just didn't quite have the pace to get away, and he's took your ball just as it's rising. He's not been able to get over it with his left foot, but that's a real warning sign. It's the second or third time where they've had that opportunity by Al Hilal's sloppiness and giving the ball away.
Simone Inzaghi, the Al Hilal coach, was infuriated by that. He was on the edge of his technical area, screaming at his players. He's very proud of the way they played against Manchester City. It was a deserved win for his team. His team's under pressure here as Koulibaly wins it and then backheels it really delightfully out of his own right-back zone, and they're on the move here, the Saudi side. Down the far side as we look at it, the right. Curling ball was towards Marcos Leonardo, but just slightly overhit. Samuel Javier wins the throw-in down on the Fluminense right, the near side as we look at it. Just that lack of precision in the final third from both teams.
Yeah, again, we mentioned earlier, there's been a few occasions for both teams now. They've had an opportunity to deliver the ball without any pressure on them as well. Just either execution's wrong by trying to curl things, but it should be a straight ball. Yeah, I think that's where the quality of the game's fallen down the road.
Here's Arias turning on the turbos, but really important toe end away from him by Nasser Al Dosseri. He's got over 200 appearances for Al Hilal. He's a regular for Saudi Arabia. Here is Ruben Neves once again. Puts his boots on the ball and plays it to his right to find Koulibaly. We're ticking towards the 20-minute mark on TalkSport 2, the first of 4 Club World Cup quarter-finals that will bring you across the TalkSport network. Early hours of Saturday morning, Chelsea Palmeiras, that's at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's on TalkSport and exclusive. Then 5 o'clock tomorrow, it's PSG against Bayern. That's a TalkSport exclusive as well. And then 9 o'clock tomorrow night, Real Madrid against Dortmund. And that's a TalkSport 2 exclusive. Cracking games coming your way. Space here for Martinelli. Now a bit of route to manoeuvre for Ignacio, just shy of halfway. Finds Samuel Javier. It's 35, Samuel Javier. Spring chicken compared to some of the teammates.
Well, he certainly looked it running up and down this right-hand side. He's currently holding a position in the centre of midfield, but certainly showing a lot of legs for someone who's probably in the latter stages of their career.
Played up towards Javier, and he was taken out there. It was Renan Lodi who caught him, and that's going to be a yellow card for Renan Lodi. And that means he would miss the semi-final because he's had a yellow card earlier in the tournament.
He's very rash, and there's no real need. He just needs to get himself ball-side, but he tries to win the ball and goes through Samuel Javier, who again we mentioned is getting forward in some real good positions. And again, it's a real sloppy one for someone that knows he's on his yellow card, and you make a challenge like that. It's an easy decision for the referee, and one that he didn't really need to make.
Had a season at Nottingham Forest earlier in his career, Renan Lodi, but he's best known really for his time with Atletico Madrid under Diego Simeone, who himself was no stranger to challenges like that. He won La Liga in the Spanish capital.
You can certainly see why they got on.
Yeah, that's true. He's probably watching this and fist pumping towards the television, I imagine. Here comes the free kick towards the far post. It flicked off the head of Ignacio. It's come out to the left edge of the penalty area. Curling cross headed away by Cano. And flags up in any case for offside, but Fluminense do offer a threat from set plays, and they are rock solid at the back as well. They've kept clean sheets in 5 of the last 6 competitive matches, and they're doing exactly the same here. Fluminense 0, Al Hilal 0 here on TalkSport 2 with A quarter of the game gone in Orlando. All out towards the left-hand side, and Al-Hadi, he's got a handful of caps for Saudi Arabia. Moteb Al-Hadi. Haven't seen much of Joao Cancelo on the right-hand side so far. We've seen more of Moteb Al-Hadi on the left.
Yeah, I think the two formations are cancelling each other out. It's literally man for man. Whenever the two wing backs for Al Hilal are pushing on, they're just running straight onto Fluminense's sort of wing backs, which is their system they're playing as well. So I think if they maybe dropped out a little bit deeper to suck some spaces for players like Milinkovic-Savic, where he's found himself on balls in good areas, but at the moment they're just running into areas and getting themselves marked.
There's Kano, 60 caps for Saudi Arabia, just under pressure there, Mohamed Kano. Simone Inzaghi did describe that win for Al Hilal over Man City as like having to climb Mount Everest without oxygen. They got the job done. This has not been breathless so far, but both teams trying to work each other out. El Dosseri tries to swing it from left to right, and it hits a Fluminense player. Xavier goes back to make sure it doesn't go out for the corner. Well, that's given away by Thiago Silva. There's a collector's item. And now Al Hilal can advance. Marcos Leonardo, left edge of the penalty area, lays it off to Milinkovic-Savic, left corner of the box. Beats two players, still going. Floats the ball to the far post. Malcolm can't catch up with it. Fuentes should be able to clear from Fluminense, and that's clever. He's played it into Nonato, and now Fuentes on the move, but it's overhit. The return ball to him by Nonato, who apologises, and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, I think that was the first opportunity for Fluminense where they'd been able to try and turn over possession quickly and try and exploit them on the break. And Nonato, unfortunately, the right idea, but the execution on the pass was too heavy. They couldn't quite keep it in.
Al Hilal have scored in 39 of their last 40 games. The exception was their goalless draw with Salzburg in the group stage. So now a team that's used to scoring, and they do have plenty of firepower. They didn't win the Saudi Pro League though. They ended up 8 points behind the winners, Al Ittihad. They have had some eye-catching results here, especially that 1-1 draw with Real Madrid to open up with, and a topsy-turvy win over Man City. Here is Malcolm inside right channel, the former Barcelona winger. Only had a year at Camp Nou. Now it's Kano, plays the ball to the edge of the D. El Dosseri thinks about the shot, and now he does go for the shot. That's charged down, and the ball will spin behind for the corner. It's probably as good as he was going to get there, because he never really seemed in control of that situation.
No, he's lifted it over him really well, and Ignacio's got the wrong side of him, but he gets back well, sticks with him, and unfortunately for them, they've kept it out, and now they've got to defend another opportunity. Great block in the end.
Ignacio did well. It's a corner which Ruben Neves will take. An in-swinger, right-footed. What can the former Wolves man conjure up here? Plays it towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and Koulibaly jumps, and it came off the defender and bounced away to safety. It looked for all the world there as though Koulibaly was going to power home a header, just as he did against Manchester City, but not this time.
Tremendous delivery from Neves.
Raking ball towards the edge of the Fluminense penalty area, and that's cleared. Now Fluminense can look to counter over halfway. Freites plays it forward, one of the three centre-backs for Fluminense. He's got Fuentes ahead of him, but he retreats now under pressure from Koulibaly, who's come all the way to halfway to try and engage. Now he's gone back into his usual defensive station. Space here for Ignacio, just to the right of the centre circle. Signed from Sporting Cristal. Thought he'd scored actually against Inter in the previous round, but he had that ruled out for offside. He's trying to advance down the right-hand side here, and he's got away from El Dosseri, who's now got back to him. It's a good battle this, down the Fluminense right. He's surrounded now, Ignacio, and tries to win the throw down with the corner flag.
Yeah, real good play. He stayed on the ball. Ignacio drove forward well. Unfortunately for his side, he gets himself some sort of real possession and an opportunity now to create something in Al Hilal's half, which they haven't been able to do in the last 10 minutes.
Going back to that Koulibaly moment, it was a brilliant piece of defending from Ignacio. Got there just above Koulibaly. Here is Xavier down the right for Fluminense, and the offside flag goes up against Arias. We've had nearly 28 minutes here. Luke, what do you make of it so far?
It's threatened to get going, but it hasn't really. Players like John Arias, we've hardly seen him touch the ball, and he's found himself in an offside position. I think that's sort of real typical of the way the game has gone in terms of players have had opportunity to create passes, create chances for their teammates, but the execution of the pass, the tackle has been a little bit laboured, slow, sloppy. So I think both teams will be fairly happy with how the game's gone in terms of not giving too much away early on, but the way they've gone and tried to attack going forward has been very disappointing so far.
Voice of Luke Chambers there, alongside Kevin Hatchard for this one on TalkSport 2. And it is deadlock in Orlando. Fluminense fans, by the way, have been absolutely terrific. Bringing a little bit of Rio with them. Fluminense, one of the Rio giants. Flamengo there, big rivals locally. Free kick given to Fluminense for a foul by Cano on Arias, and Simone Inzaghi, who never looks like a particularly calm man on the touchline, screaming once again.
I'd hate to get him on here. His voice must be gone already.
Well, he spent the entire season with Inter screaming, and now he's still screaming. Talk about player welfare. What about the coaches?
No, it certainly works though. He can scream all he likes now with his track record.
He could probably pay for a pretty good voice coach, I would think. Free kick taken short by Fluminense. They've worked it out to the inside left channel, where Martinelli plays it out to Freites, and his curling cross is put behind for a corner by Milinkovic-Savic, and Fluminense all of a sudden are having a good spell.
Yeah, Cano, that's the second or third time he's found himself on that outside left channel, delivering balls into the box. And again, Milinkovic-Savic, which I spoke about earlier, he's probably covered every blade of grass in his first 30 minutes, and he finds himself on the edge of his 6-yard box, blocking the ball into his own box.
Milinkovic-Savic, who weren't with Simone Inzaghi before, they were very successful together at Lazio. Italian capital. Here's Arias from the short corner. Curling cross to the far post is overhit though. It's just a lack of precision in the final third that's costing both teams.
Yeah, it's just a real lack of quality, no real pressure on the ball, and that's what both teams have done. They've allowed the opposition to have real time and space, even around their 18-yard box, but that delivery into the box has just been nowhere near good enough.
Players just moving to the sidelines for the first cooling break of the game, and an opportunity for me to tell you about what's coming up on the TalkSport network. I've mentioned that we're going to have the other 3 quarter-finals coming up. So in the early hours of Saturday morning, 2 o'clock, Chelsea Palmeiras, 5 o'clock on TalkSport, PSG against Bayern Munich. That's 5 o'clock in the evening, not the morning. And 9 o'clock tomorrow night, that's on TalkSport 2, Real Madrid against Dortmund. But of course, we're across the Women's European Championship, Euro 2025, and we've got action from Wales, and we've got action from the England opener as well. So 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, it's Wales against Netherlands on TalkSport 2, and it's the big one at 8 on TalkSport as the Lionesses get their title defence underway. They are up against France. Adrian Durham will present that one from Switzerland. Joe Shannon and Tash Dowie, your commentary team in Zurich. That is going to be a belter, I'm sure. And if rugby union is your thing, we've also got the latest game for the British and Irish Lions. They're up against the New South Wales Waratahs. That is tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock. That's a TalkSport exclusive. Andrew McKenna, your commentator, alongside the former England World Cup winner and the former Lions second row, Ben Kay. So loads of good action to come from the Club World Cup, from Euro 2025, and indeed from the British and Irish Lions tour. Thiago Silva just talking to Nonato. He looks quite frustrated about what he's seen from his team so far, because I think there is an element, you touched on it before, Luke, They are better than this in the final third, both of these teams. They're just not quite finding that fluency, although both of these sides are pretty good defensively.
Yeah, and if I was Fluminense, I'd be very surprised with how much time and space they are giving them round their 18-yard box. And with his experience, he's going to have to say to his teammates, look, you're not even under pressure here. You're going to have to demand a bit more from yourself, because I'm going to be able to do that as well, because that's my experience, that's what I bring to this team. So in that moment now, this cooling break would definitely come, water break, whatever you want to call it, is come at the perfect time for Fluminense, because they are starting to get themselves some opportunity to put the balls into the box, and it's a chance for them to say, look, we've got a real chance here. If we can up the quality just slightly, we can get a real chance to take the lead.
We've had nearly 33 minutes in Orlando. Fluminense 0, Al Hilal 0. Fluminense, who've been crowned as Brazilian champions just 4 times actually. Last of those titles was back in 2012. They're currently 6th in Brazil's Serie A, but they're only 4 points adrift of the leaders and their great rivals Flamengo. And they've been a tough team to knock over. They've only lost 3 of their 11 league games so far this season. We're back underway in Orlando, and it's Al Hilal in possession. Ruben Neves pretty much on the edge of his own 6-yard box, goes back to the goalkeeper Yassine Bono, former Sevilla goalkeeper Bono, who's absolutely outstanding for Morocco at the World Cup in Qatar. Some really nice play from Al Hilal through the press, has released Koulibaly here to rumble forward like a boulder moving downhill down the inside right channel. Ball slid low towards Milinkovic-Savic. That's hammered away by his opposite number, the other 22, Juan Pablo Freites, who's an Argentinian. And Al Hilal in possession again with Cano just to the right of the centre circle. He plays across the centre circle to Renan Lodi. A couple of bookings for Al Hilal so far. Renan Lodi and Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, nothing for Fluminense so far. As Ruben Neves just strokes the ball delightfully into the path of Malcolm, who's been quiet so far. We've not had those big transitional moments for either team really. And we did wonder pre-kickoff whether there would be a little bit of caution, a little bit of fear, neither team wanting to overcommit, and that's definitely been the case so far.
Yeah, definitely. And Al Hilal, prime example now. They're in possession just inside Fluminense's half, but they've got 4 players along the halfway line. So Fluminense are really comfortable having 11 players behind the ball against Al Hilal's front sort of 5 or 6. So they're not being troubled at all. So they're going to have to get Ruben Neves playing a bit further forward.
Forward by Koulibaly, trying to go over the top to Milinkovic-Savic, who tries a little back heel. Well, just for a moment as though he was caught, but he didn't actually appeal. But I'll tell you what, Malcolm has been caught. Away on the far side, the Al Hilal right. He was chopped to the floor there. And that is a yellow card for Freites. And he will be suspended for the semi-final.
It's just another clumsy one. They nearly get in there, and he's got real good possession of the ball, Freites. But it's a sloppy pass, and then his reaction to sort of, oh no, we've messed up, I've got to make something happen. And he volleys Malcolm, probably not as bad as Malcolm's making out, but again, real sloppy play, gives the ball away, causes himself a problem. He's now picked up his booking and will miss the semi-final if they get there.
It's a little bit like watching my kids' karate gradings, that kick. Ball played into the penalty area, headed away, shot and follow-up by Malcolm, didn't get very far. He was about 20 yards out, left-footed. And Fluminense holding up strong. Yeah, it wasn't Freites' best moment, truth be told. Not quite talking Bruce Lee levels, but it was great.
It was a real good hip mobility though, to get his leg up that high.
That's true. Especially when you get to our age, you are admiring that kind of thing. Flexibility. Ball driven forward down the right hand side, took a bit of a deflection. And here comes Fluminense now in midfield with Bernal just drifting it across towards Xavier. And again, not much of a press from Al Hilal, allowing Fluminense to have this space. As Luke Chambers has said on several occasions, it's not that Fluminense have been under massive strain that they're making these errors. They're just a little bit sloppy at times. Cano comes all the way back to the right back zone, the striker. Plays it from right to left, a big booming switch. And now jogs into his attacking position, but we've seen very little service for him so far.
Well, there just doesn't seem to be any real commitment to try and put sort of any overloads together.
Diagonals try and find Javier here, and he did really well because that ball was bouncing away from him and he had to make something out of nothing really, and he banged the ball off Aldosari and the ball spins behind for a Fluminense corner, 0-0.
Well, we highlighted Samuel Javier earlier with his energy and athleticism getting up and down that right hand side. It's another opportunity where he's got on the end of it, but that's the first time Fluminense have put the ball over the top of Al Hilal, turned them round. No real numbers forward, but just an opportunity to get a ball in the box, which Al Hilal have to defend, and now they can commit bodies forward and try and cause some problems for this corner.
It's John Arias who stands over the corner with Fuentes. Fuentes just complaining that the Al Hilal player isn't 10 yards, they played it short. Curling cross by Arias, headed away by Koulibaly. There's a bit of a loose first touch there by Martinelli, which robbed him of the chance to shoot, and then what was meant to be a cross, I think, by Freites ended up looking like a serviceable shot, and Bono was happy that that one whistled behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, they're claiming for a corner. It's a good strike in the end. I think it does get a little nick, and that's why they're complaining for the corner there off Cancelo.
It does actually flick off Joao Cancelo there. I think they had a fair case. Bono, the goalkeeper, was smiling and shaking his head, but goalkeepers will always do that. Very rarely will they say, "Oh, sorry, Lino, it actually was a corner."
Yeah, absolutely not.
I think Bono's experienced enough to not be doing that. Like many goalkeepers, he was a striker before he was a keeper. His heroes were both from Argentina, as it happens, Gabriel Batistuta and the wonderful Ariel Ortega. His dog is named Ariel.
What a piece of knowledge.
Thank you very much. This is how I spend my evenings. Commentators don't get a social life. It's not how it works. We have to find out about famous players' dogs.
Goalkeepers' dogs. Brilliant. I'll remember that.
Here's Martinelli, just inside the Al Hilal half. He's faced by El Dosari. He goes back into his centre circle to find Thiago Silva, and now nice little piece of skill from Ignacio, just treading on the ball and then releasing it forward. Now Javier will run at Renan Lodi. Curling ball is a really good one, and it got the flick from Cano. Couldn't find anyone at the far post, but a really poor clearance by Joao Cancelo. And now Martinelli with a shot, and it's a stunning goal! Martinelli opens up this quarter-final with a moment of magnificence. Got the ball out of his feet, and bang! Top corner! Yassine Bono, one of the best goalkeepers at the tournament, grasping at thin air, and the Rio party begins. Fluminense 1, Al Hilal 0.
And I've absolutely jumped up my chair. It's that man again, Samuel Javier, on that right hand side, and delivers one bit of quality we've been asking for. Ruben Neves has to get his head on it. The clearance from Cancelo is so poor, and this ball here, the cutback, you're thinking it's on the edge for Ignacio, but the touch, the presence of mind from Martinelli off his left foot, it's an unbelievable strike right in the top corner. Absolutely fantastic technique, and it's gone absolutely crazy.
It is a wonderful finish from the Fluminense youth product. One of their own has delivered a famous goal for this football club. Make no mistake, if they make it through to the semi-finals, it's an enormous achievement, and they will believe they can go even further, but there's a long way to go. But Martinelli with a wonderful hit, and Fluminense have struck first.
Absolutely incredible strike. What a goal. We've been crying out for that bit of quality, and it took 40 minutes for us to see one bit. I think there's been one shot each in the last 5 minutes on target, and the way he's just took that ball off the cutback when everyone thought he was going to leave it to Ignacio on the edge of the box, and the way he's just cushioned it into his path. The execution is absolutely phenomenal.
Tough moment for Joao Cancelo with the missed hit clearance, but of course do have to put Joao Cancelo and Ruben Neves' performances into context here, because of course they were both in floods of tears when there was a moment of reflection to mourn the passing of not just Diogo Jota but also his brother Andre Silva. And of course Diogo Jota, a teammate of both Cancelo and Ruben Neves at international level. Headed away by Koulibaly. It's one here by Martinelli in midfield. And there's a problem here for Nasser Al-Dossari. He's down, just holding his face. And there's a bit of blood there from the mouth as well. Fluminense claiming that he's making the most of this, but did seem to be a bang to the face.
Yeah, I think it was just an accident. I think Martinelli gets up really well, obviously buoyed by that goal, and it's just that sort of right arm. I think because he jumped so early, Al-Dossari gets caught underneath it, and he's definitely caught him, but there's no malice in it whatsoever.
It's just his forearm chopping down, isn't it? He's not swung it as a weapon, he's just trying to get elevation.
Yeah, it was definitely, they weren't raised at all, they're almost down by his side, but I think it's just the timing of him really reading that header well, and Al-Dossari gets caught underneath him.
Martinelli did get given a yellow card for that, and that means that he is also out of the semi-finals. So if they were to get through, Martinelli, who's just scored that wonderful goal, and Juan Pablo Freitas would both miss the game.
But that's for me, as a player, someone that's been in those situations before, and you have to have some knowledge of the game. There's no animosity, there's no malice in the challenge, it's just the timing of the header. He's able to get up early, and Al-Dossari's backing off, trying to just get underneath the ball and jump, and he doesn't really know Martin is there. And the referee has to have a little bit more about him for me to give a yellow card in that circumstance.
He's an experienced referee. It's a weird one, isn't it, with those, because it's often the case that, and it shouldn't happen, but referees get influenced by what the outcome of the challenge was, and it shouldn't really matter, should it, in a way? He has to judge the challenge whether Al-Dossari's been hit in the face or not. You know, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because I do feel like players are unfairly penalised for that kind of thing a lot.
Yeah, definitely he's been unfairly penalised there. There's no real intention of causing any harm. He's not out of control of his body. Yeah, so real disappointing. He's going to miss the semi-final if they get there. And as a player, you get these opportunities once in your career maybe, and it's just been taken away from him without even any thought.
Yeah, the next Club World Cup will be in 4 years' time. Space here for Malcolm on the right for Al Hilal, who had to come from behind against Manchester City, and they're going to have to do the same again here in Orlando. We're into the first of 4 additional minutes. Ruben Neves has got forward here for one of the first times really, and Koulibaly was on the ball, and he was in an advanced position down the inside right channel, and he's just been brought down by Freitas. Freitas has got to be careful here. He's on a yellow card. He just mouthed off to the referee.
Yeah, and Koulibaly, I think he takes 3 players on by almost tackling himself, and then he gets one touch out of his feet too far, and again I think it's Freitas who dives in, no real need to, but I think that's the first time where they're trying to commit a bit more forward now. Al Hilal, they understand they're under a bit of a pressure.
First of 4 additional minutes on TalkSport 2. Fluminense 1, Al Hilal 0. Joao Cancelo and Ruben Neves over this free kick inside right channel, good 40 yards from goal really. Ruben Neves with the curling ball, and the header from Koulibaly is brilliantly kept out by Fabio. Big strong hand to take the ball around the goalkeeper's left hand post. Excellent save, great header, good football all round.
Yeah, the ball from Neves came in. I thought that's what we've been wanting to see, and I thought immediately goal. What a great header. But the way Fabio's able to just adjust himself back towards his front post, he's moving away to his back post, but the header's fantastic. The execution, it's an absolutely fantastic save with his left hand.
Senior appearance number 1379 for Fabio. Here comes the corner from Al Hilal, headed away at the near post by Fuentes. They'll keep it going though. Nice little cushion header out to the far side by Joao Cancelo. The cross is over here, and player goes down, and the referee points to the spot. Marcos Leonardo went down miles away from the ball, but Danny Makili is convinced he has seen a foul, and that should be a penalty. And there's going to be a golden opportunity just before half-time for Al Hilal to equalise.
Well, you can understand why Fluminense players are absolutely incensed. I think Leonardo, listen, there's absolutely no intent in the challenge whatsoever. The ball's no way near Leonardo at the back post. It's way over the top of him. It's a potential clash of heels. No one's looking at the ball. No one's... For him to give that so certainly, so quickly, it's almost like a crazy 5 minutes that referee, in my opinion, has had. Obviously a VAR check is going to be pending.
Yeah, they are going to check it because the ball is nowhere near. He was never going to get there, Marcos Leonardo. He would have needed a very, very tall ladder to get anywhere near. And it was coming together. It was clumsy, admittedly, from Javier, but as Luke Chambers has said, referee pointed to the spot almost immediately. And there was no opportunity to get the ball there at all. Thiago Silva was straight over to the referee to say no foul, no foul. And they are going to check it. And whether Danny Macaulay will be advised to go and look at the screen, we'll see. But it's at very most a soft one, and he is going to go and have a look. And we know what that usually means. It usually means the referee will change his decision. He's being chased to the monitor by Freites of Fluminense and a couple of Al Hilal players. We're just seeing the reverse angle of it. And common sense would dictate that should not be a spot. It strikes me.
Absolutely not. I'd be absolutely furious if this is given as a Fluminense player, but there may have been a slight touch, but the way Leonardo goes down, it's almost like a second movement with his right foot. And it doesn't even matter because the ball's so far away. There's no intent to play the ball. It's going to be a real interesting one, the decision that he makes.
So he's going to speak to the fans in the stadium. Let's see what Danny Macaulay says.
After the on-field review, what I didn't see live in the pitch is there is not a foul, there is a normal football contact, no penalty.
Danny Macaulay, I think, has come to the right decision. And the Fluminense fans are celebrating that as if it's a goal. And Marcos Leonardo is denied. Ruben Neves is absolutely furious. He's gone over to the referee. You've got to be a little bit careful here, Al Hilal. And Milinkovic-Savic has to be as well because he's actually been booked in the game. Simone Inzaghi just leaning on his dugout, impassive for once. It's rare to see him not screaming about something, but doesn't hear. And that might be pretty much the last act of the first half that has very much come to life. It was a bit cautious in the opening exchanges. Caution has given way to chaos since then. Here come Al Hilal down the left-hand side. 1-0 down here on TalkSport 2. Fluminense with the opening goal scored brilliantly by Martinelli in the 40th minute. Wonderful strike. Koulibaly, who's been pretty good for Al Hilal, wins it and then just thumps it downfield as hard as he possibly can. Didn't find Malcolm. I have to say the supply lines to Malcolm and Marcos Leonardo have been pretty much blocked off by Fluminense so far. That's at the spin in midfield here for Nonato. Forward to Fuentes. I think Fluminense quite happy to see this through to half-time with no damage done. Thiago Silva back out to Freites, and now Nonato inside left channel, midway inside the Al Hilal half. We're well beyond the 4 additional minutes, but of course we had the VAR check. Now Ignacio being chased down, comes through the challenge and wins the free kick. It's rather desperate that from El Dosteri.
Yeah, Ignacio's done that a couple of times now. He's really sucked in the contact from whoever's pressing him, and he's been able to drive forward and break through the lines a couple of times, and he's done it again there. Real strong, athletic player. He's fit his way into this game really, really comfortably.
Driven towards Fuentes, but it was overhit. Renato Gaucho in his crisp blue shirt and Fluminense cap, just controlling his technical area. He's far from happy, I can tell you, when that penalty was given. He's an emotional man, unashamedly. Ruben Neves is still talking to the referee, still shouting at him. Danny McAlee's giving him a fair bit of leeway. This will be one last chance here for Al Hilal in this first half to pump the ball forwards. It's going to be from the centre circle, but Ruben Neves is telling everybody to get forwards. Milinkovic-Savic seemed to be far from enjoying that run. Headed away by Thiago Silva, not very far. Cano picked up the pieces but lost it. And it is half-time in Orlando. Danny McAlee just counting to make sure he's got 22 players, and we're ready to get underway in the second half in Orlando. First quarter-final of the Club World Cup. All four quarter-finals live on the TalkSport network. And this one is 45 minutes in. We're back underway. Al Hilal in their change strip of all white, playing from left to right as we look at it in this second half. Fluminense in their traditional red, green and white striped shirts with red shorts and socks, and playing from right to left in this second period. That one change, Hercules on for Martinelli. No changes for Al Hilal. They've won themselves a throw-in 30 seconds into the second half here, and it'll be Joao Cancelo who will hurl this ball in from the right touchline. He gets a lot on it. It's headed away at the near post by Thiago Silva. Ball is cleared. The shot on the follow-up didn't get very far. Yassine Bono, the goalkeeper for Al Hilal, has possession, wearing a lavender goalkeeper's kit. And Lodi just switches the ball across to Joao Cancelo, just inside the Fluminense half. It's a tall ball though. It's under hit it down the inside right channel, away by Gabriel Fuentes. Rather clumsy challenge by Ruben Neves gives me an opportunity to give you the teams. Bono in goal for Al Hilal, Al-Harbi, Lodi, Koulibaly and Cancelo, the back four. Neves and Al Dosseri, the midfielders, although Neves has spent a lot of time in that defensive line. Cano just ahead of them. You've got Milinkovic-Savic and Malcolm trying to support Marcos Leonardo in attack. Fluminense with Fabio in goal, Freitas, Silva and Ignacio at the back. Javier and Fuentes are the wing-backs. You've got Bernal as the screen in midfield. Renato and Hercules in front of him, and the front two, Arias and Cano. What was remarkable about Fluminense in the first half is that they took the lead, but barely saw Arias, and we saw nothing of Cano at all.
No, and I think that's where the quality was definitely found wanting. I think they had a lot of energy, some real discipline in the way they were defending, but when they had the chance to go forward, make a telling pass, create the right opportunity, and even decision making at times, have not been able to get their front two anywhere near it at the moment.
There is Joao Cancelo, comes in from the right hand side down the halfway line. Got frustrated at losing his place at Manchester City, went to Bayern for a bit, went to Barcelona. Here he is in Saudi Arabia looking for more silverware. A glittering career already. He's found Malcolm tight to the right touchline. The sense that Malcolm hasn't quite blossomed into the player many thought he would in Brazil. He's only ever won 2 caps for his country. There is an opportunity in this tournament to show what he can do on the global stage. Dosseri laying it off. Bit of room to manoeuvre here on the left-hand side. Nice drop of the shoulder, and the cross came in from Al-Harbi, and it's nodded behind by Gabriel Fuentes, and that's corner for Al Hilal.
Yeah, a bit more intent. First 3 or 4 minutes of the second half, they've got balls forward early, they've played with a bit more tempo. Ruben Neves, like I said earlier, has to get himself further forward. He's picking the ball up 40 yards from goal now, trying to dictate play. That's what they have to do, and they have to do it really, really early, because the more the Fluminense side gets in their stride defensively, they're very, very difficult to break down.
Here comes the corner from Ruben Neves, whipped in towards the far post, headed away by Ignacio. It's a gorgeous first touch by Ruben Neves, but his attempted follow-up cross is charged down by Hercules, and nice little 1-2 on the edge of the area. Tempting, teasing cross from Ruben Neves, and again Fluminense always have a man there. Ignacio this time with the clearance.
Yeah, they've defended really, really well. He's put his body on the line there. Just got in front of Leonardo, I think. Milinkovic-Savic tried to get across the front. Ignacio's been brilliant with and without the ball so far.
Joao Cancelo with another of those long throws, helped behind this time by Thiago Silva. Who won 113 caps for Brazil, Thiago Silva. Extraordinary career he's had. He's played for some massive European clubs like PSG, Milan, Chelsea. Nearly 5 minutes gone in the second half on TalkSport 2. Fluminense 1, Al Hilal 0, but Al Hilal, the Saudi Pro League team, with a corner which Ruben Neves will take, wearing number 8 from the right, booming cross to the far post, free header, it's loose and it's in. Marcos Leonardo has done it again. A poacher's instincts, his 4th goal of the Club World Cup, and in the blink of an eye, Al Hilal are level. It's 1-1.
And it's that man, Ruben Neves, gets himself involved. A real quality free corner from the to the back post. The man again, he's linked up so far in this game. Koulibaly, great header, and the touch. Leonardo finds himself with so much space on the 6-yard line. He's able to get it down and hammers it home. Real great presence of mind to almost control it with his knee and then just finish it brilliantly. Raise of tempo from Al Hilal. They find themselves back in this game.
Well, he had 28 goals in all competitions going into this one. He is a born goal scorer. He's shown that time and time again. You think of the winning goal that he got against Manchester City, but he had cramp in both legs, but he found a way of scoring from close range and just getting something on the ball. And he had such swift reactions there. The big question is how Koulibaly, of all people, gets a free run and a free header.
Well, they'd had numerous warning signs from the first half. He got himself free, very dangerous in the opposition box, and they've just allowed him the freedom of the pitch around the back post. And Neves, we know how much quality he has from set pieces, and he's delivered it again.
Marcos Leonardo now joint top scorer in the tournament, but here's Arias Tvancano with the shot. Didn't get very far, charged down. Hercules wearing number 35, inside right channel, right foot shot. It's Renan Lodi, and the ball spins out to the far side, the right. 1-1 in Orlando. Remember, the game could go to extra time. It could be decided by penalties. We have to have a result. Freites for Fluminense. Across their last 7 games, it's only the 3rd goal they've conceded. And it comes from a set play. Simone Inzaghi's Inter was so proficient at dead ball situations, and Al Hilal are showing the same quality. Of course, it helps if you have Ruben Neves in your team. Freites went to ground far too easily there, and now Al Hilal are off to the races. Malcolm down the inside right channel, finds Marcos Leonardo edge of the area, little shimmy, but Ignacio wasn't buying that, and he won the first challenge and then won the second, and the ball balloons into Al Hilal territory. And Luke Chambers, we have a football match.
Yeah, it's like they've come out with 2 different teams. It's like 2 different teams have arrived at this stadium and decided to come and join in for the second half. It's been such better tempo, more quality, an opportunity for Malcolm to feed Leonardo to get himself in a 1v1 situation. But the defending's been better, the quality of pass has been better, decision making's been better.
And here they come again. Renan Lodi forward from that wide centre-back role. Such a feature of Simone Inzaghi's football. Inzaghi, who's developed a reputation as one of the world's best coaches. He led Inter to 2 Champions League finals in 3 seasons, although he did lose both. He's won 3 Coppa Italias, he's won the Serie A title as well. He's had a few near misses in his career too. Fuentes just shepherds that ball out under pressure from Joao Cancelo for a goal kick. You're listening to the FIFA Club World Cup live on TalkSport 2, presented by DAZN. Sign up now at dazn.com to watch every game live and for free. Kevin Hatchard alongside the former Ipswich and Nottingham Forest player Luke Chambers for this first quarter-final of the Club World Cup. We'll bring you the other 3 across the weekend. And the ball played through. Fluminense away. Cano tried to go round the goalkeeper, and Bono stood strong. He dived at Cano's feet, touched the ball away from the veteran striker, and Al Hilal survived.
Oh, Lodi had his head in his hands. It's such a poor back pass. Every single person in the stadium must think it's 2-1 Fluminense. But Cano makes a decision to try and take it round Bono, and he reads it when he should just open up with his right foot and bend it round him, and it should be 2-1. What an opportunity wasted.
In those one-on-one situations, Bono is so proficient. Herman Cano has been waiting for that chance all night. Can't take advantage of it. Attempted cross from the left-hand side by Al Hilal is blocked by Xavier. It's Al Dostary who's trying to hit it in there. 10 minutes gone in the second half in Orlando, and the game has suddenly broken open. Fluminense 1, Al Hilal 1, with a place in the semi-finals up for grabs. Throw in from the left-hand side from Al Harbi. He's looking for Cano just inside the penalty area, but it was comfortably cleared by Fluminense. Al Hilal, who reached the Club World Cup final in 2022, lost to Real Madrid, their 4th appearance at the tournament. Malcolm tried to jab it to Marcos Leonardo. It's come his way. Milinkovic-Savic, right foot shot. Good save by the goalkeeper Fabio. He got down low to his right, and he smothers the effort from Sergej Milinkovic-Savic.
Yeah, Milinkovic-Savic finds himself in a great position on the edge of the box, and he just shimmies it, and the 2 defenders buy it, and he's able to just get a strike off. And unfortunately for them, he doesn't find the bottom corner. It's a real good save by Fabio.
Live Club World Cup quarter-final action here on TalkSport 2. Fluminense 1, Al Hilal 1. Here come Al Hilal. It was an attempted cutback from the left edge of the penalty area. Marcos Leonardo looking for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, and Al Hilal have won it in midfield with Al Dostary out to Malcolm, right edge of the penalty area, cuts inside on his favoured left foot, but it's just taken away from him by Hercules. And this is end-to-end stuff now. Here come the Brazilians. Renato just checks, comes in field, right-footed ball to Arias. He'll think about the shot, and he goes for the reverse pass to Cano, and Cano just dwells on it a little too long, and he's fouled his man. But Herman Cano was not on the same wavelength as Arias there. It was a bouncy first touch, and he fouled Ruben Neves. Free kick.
Yeah, Renato put some real tempo into the attack. He finds Arias, who's dropped into the number 10. A fantastic weighted reverse pass into Cano, and he needed 3 touches instead of just killing it and striking it with his right. And he allowed Al Hilal to get back in. It's a real good bit of defending from their main defender at the moment in Ruben Neves.
Do you think he's a little unlucky there, Cano, though? Because I think it was actually Koulibaly who made the contact with Neves. It looked as though it was the striker. I wonder if it was he got the final touch, but I think you're always going to get the free kick in that situation. But the game has really opened up. Is it simply as obvious as the fear factor has just been chucked out in this second half?
Well, Al Hilal had to come out as a different side, and they've certainly done that, because I think Inzaghi would be very, very angry in that dressing room.
Paint coming off the walls, I would imagine. Here is Milinkovic-Savic, but he ran out of real estate there and he couldn't wrap his boots around it. 58 minutes on the watch here on TalkSport 2. Fluminense 1, Al Hilal 1. 2 in the morning on Saturday, so just a few hours away. Over on TalkSport, exclusive commentary of Chelsea's quarter-final against Palmeiras. Then 5 o'clock in the evening on TalkSport, another exclusive, PSG against Bayern Munich. And then 9 o'clock on TalkSport 2, yet more live and exclusive commentary of the Club World Cup quarter-finals. It is Real Madrid against Borussia Dortmund. And we'll have both semi-finals for you, and indeed the final, which is a week on Sunday. Forward by Arias now. Room down that right hand side, but it was given away rather cheaply. And now they can bring it forward with Arias. Nice little turn away from Al Dostary for John Arias, the Colombian international. winding up the right foot cross, but he changes his mind and squares up the defender, plays a 1-2 with Xavier, and that requires the intervention of Moteb Al-Harbi, who just sweeps it out for a throw to Fluminense. Retaining it quickly, Hercules down the right hand side. Now it's with Bernal, Uruguayan left foot shot that was speculative, and it came off his own man and then spun into the gloves of Bono.
I think it might have come off the referee, who's then stopped the play, giving it back to Bono.
Yeah, it did flick off Danny Macaulay on its way through. Not the best first touch.
Should have done a lot better than that. But I think we mentioned the front two for Fluminense. Arias has touched it more in this first 15 minutes than he has done in the whole of the first half.
Here's Malcolm, racing down the right-hand side, into the penalty area, went for the cross, came off Thiago Silva, and the ball goes behind for a corner. We've had an hour in Orlando, and it is Fluminense 1, Al Hilal 1.
Yeah, finally we're seeing those attacking flair players that we highlighted before the games coming into the actual fixture now. Malcolm finds himself down the right-hand side, drops a little bit of a shoulder and gets himself and his side a corner.
Already scored from one set play. What can they do here? Can they complete the comeback? 44-year-old Fabio just belting out instructions to his defenders as the spider cam hovers above the players in the penalty area. Regular fixture at top games these days. Kind of suspended camera. All kinds of movement here, all kinds of blocking schemes and different ideas. Ruben Neves to take. It's another really good ball in. The header away is a really strong one though by Freites. Al Hilal will have to reset. That's what they do with Renan Lodi. High hanging ball to the far post. That's headed behind by Freites. That's another corner for Al Hilal, and it's a good spell for the Saudi team.
Yeah, they're just being a bit more direct, putting bodies forward, playing the ball in the right areas, asking questions of Fluminense, and they're having to defend, and they give another opportunity. And when you keep giving Ruben Neves the chance to put 3 deliveries in your box, you're going to cause yourself some problems.
Here we go again with the former Wolves man, Ruben Neves, to take this corner. Right footed, again it's to the far post, this time headed behind by Samuel Xavier. And this is a turning of the screw by Al Hilal.
Yeah, another chance to deliver. And you look at the two real threats in Cano and Koulibaly. They're finding themselves quite close together. Milinkovic-Savic, they're trying to get blocks off. Fluminense here going between a little bit of zonal, a little bit of man marking, but you've got Cano against Renato, which is almost a foot difference in size. So if you can get anywhere away from him, or even on top of him, it's a potential opportunity.
62 on the watch in Orlando. Fluminense 1, Al Hilal 1. Deadlock in the Club World Cup quarter-finals. Comes that corner. Goalkeeper comes, not very convincing. Only half away, and the chance was a good one, 12 yards out, and it's been blazed over the top. It was only half away. I think it was the left-back Moteb Al-Harbi who had the chance, and he's not the man you'd want that chance to fall to.
Well, when you're a full-back or a centre-half and those balls drop to you, your eyes light up, you're already thinking about what celebration you're going to do, and that's why you end up playing left-back, right-back, centre-back, because you've already tried to celebrate before you've even hit the ball.
Well, I can tell you, this is Moteb Al-Harbi's 36th game for Al Hilal. He has never scored. Going to have some changes here for Fluminense. They're going to bring on the veteran striker Everaldo, 33-year-olds. That's one change, and it looks like we're going to bring on Lima as well. So double change. That was a rather clumsy challenge there by Fluminense. Two players down, one of whom is Thiago Silva.
Yeah, I think it's just an accidental bit of contact with Leonardo's left boot. It hits him in the face, right in his eyes.
Yeah.
So immediately, Thiago Silva puts his hand up in the air for some treatment.
It was Thiago Silva's lunge, it was his foul, but as Luke Chambers rightly says, as the leg was lifted in an awkward way as he fell. Marcos Leonardo, trailing boot, hit Thiago Silva right in the face, and to add insult to literal injury, Thiago Silva's going to get a yellow card here for this. That probably is the right call, isn't it? Because it was a bit of a lunge, nowhere near the ball.
Yeah, and Leonardo's almost away. He gets to him just before he's there and nicks it round him. And I think he leaves his leg in behind just to accentuate that he's been fouled. Unfortunately for Thiago Silva, it is a yellow card, and he's also got the end of Leonardo's left boot in his eye. He's in a little bit of trouble at the moment.
And Thiago Silva still being attended to by a couple of Fluminense medics. Mentioned that there's Club World Cup action coming all the way through Saturday, but we've also got action from the Women's European Championship, Euro 2025. 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, Wales against the Netherlands. That's on TalkSport 2. Wales qualifying for a major tournament for the first time ever. And then the Lionesses begin their title defence, England against France. That's presented by Adrian Durham with Joe Shannon alongside the former England and Liverpool striker Tash Dowie. That one from Zurich, live on TalkSport. That should be a fascinating game, as the Lionesses look to be European champions once again. Thiago Silva just caught the bridge of his nose. Al Hilal have tried to catch Fluminense out with him off the pitch. It took the free kick too quickly, and Fabio able to take it. Not too many grey hairs for a 44-year-old man, Fabio.
Just trying to work out whether he used just for men or not, the same shade as me, but no, he's looking very, very lucky at the moment.
I gave up, no hair dye for me. Grazed away. Al Hilal on the move here with Milinkovic-Savic, 66 gone, here on TalkSport 2, 1-1 between Fluminense of Brazil and Al Hilal of Saudi. Here come the Saudi side, down the left-hand side, far side as we look at it. Cano just turns and plays it out to the left-hand side for Al Harbi. And Cano again, just taking his time. Just drifts it out to the right-hand side, and Joao Cancelo. Joao Cancelo drifts in field, away from one challenge, Fuentes. And then a lovely piece of skill from Malcolm to get away from a couple of players. Al Harbi out to the left edge of the penalty area, cross-drifted in towards Marcos Leonardo. Cleared, but only half away by Ignacio. Pressure still on. Another cross from the left, and that's deflected. Behind for a corner, but it won't be a corner because there was an offside in the build-up. Free kick to Fluminense.
Yeah, nice little bit of trickery from Malcolm. Got the crowd on their feet. A little nutmeg, come inside, tried to create some opportunity for his team, but fell short down that left-hand side again with the quality and the decision-making.
So the changes for Fluminense. Nonato is coming off with Lima replacing him. It's Herman Cano, the veteran Argentinian striker, makes way for Everaldo. Everaldo, who is making only his 30th appearance for Fluminense, signed from a fellow Brazilian club in February. Has actually played in Saudi Arabia early in his career, Everaldo. He gets the chance to shine here. He's not been a regular scorer for them, 5 goals so far in his Fluminense career. And here he is, the number 9, works it in field, 10 yards inside the Al Hilal half. At the moment we're heading for extra time, 68 on the watch. Live Club World Cup commentary on TalkSport 2, 1-1 in the first quarter final. Winners of this one between Al Hilal and Fluminense will play the winners of Chelsea against Palmeiras, which is the second quarter final in the early hours of Saturday morning. Space here for Freites down the left for Fluminense. His cross volleyed away by Koulibaly, volleyed away pretty violently by the Senegalese defender. He's been quite open about some of the reasons for him going to Saudi Arabia. He said, look, I wanted to be at the centre of a project, but also I wanted to be able to help my charitable foundation back in Senegal. Said I can help young people in the country, and also my own personal family will live well, and that's something that's important to me. It's wider family. But that's the part that doesn't get reported as much, some of the charitable work that these players do. Here's Freites for Fluminense in the inside left channel to Arias. That's a clever ball in behind. Down this left touchline, Fuentes is there again, the number 12, and nice little interchange in midfield. Arias moving from left to right, plays it to the edge of the box for Lima, but Lima can't quite bring the ball under his spell. Well, they've got it back quickly. Hercules with the shot, didn't get very far, blocked by Ruben Neves, and now an opportunity. Hercules again! The substitute does the damage, and Fluminense are back in front. He sees the opportunity, and so many of the fans in Orlando have gone wild. They're dreaming of the semis again. Fluminense 2, Al Hilal 1.
And it's out absolutely nowhere. It's been all Al Hilal in the second half, but slowly over the last few moments, that man Hercules, he's had a speculative shot from about 30 yards, which is blocked, and it doesn't even need to be blocked. It's dribbling through to the goalkeeper, but he gets it back, and his touch, the way he wins the ball in midfield, first and foremost, has the shot. It's a terrible bit of technique, but the header by Javier was highlighting, and the first touch, he settles himself so well and finds himself one-on-one with Bono and buries it across him with fantastic technique into that bottom corner.
He's only scored 3 goals for the club. One of them was in the last 16. Another is in the quarter-final. And it might just be the goal that sends them into the semi-finals.
It's such a great finish. This first touch is brilliant. The way he continues his run after he's had the poor shot, and Javier, the way he heads it down into his path, and I think that really highlights for me, as brilliant as Ruben Neves is with the ball, when he's found himself in some real difficult defensive positions, he's isolated so much. His 2 centre-backs are no way near him, and he's just caught flat-footed with Hercules' first touch to get across him. There's no way of him recovering, and he absolutely buries it.
And he scored the second decisive goal against Inter, when Inter were pushing for an equaliser, and Hercules able to be a super sub on that occasion. He's done it again, and now Al Hilal are back to square one. And for so much of this second half, they were the team pushing, they were the team that looked like they might go on and win it.
Yeah, and we definitely praised them for that, and rightly so. They were back on level terms, but slowly but surely the substitutions have been made. Hercules introduced at half-time, and the Fluminense fans now are going absolutely wild. They think it's their time, and rightly so. The team has improved as the half's gone on, and now they find themselves in a fantastic position.
I'll tell you what, Brazilian fans have done so much for this tournament. So often they've been the ones making the atmosphere, they've been the ones turning up in their thousands. And of course Brazil has been fantastically represented in this tournament. Clubs making it through to the knockout rounds, and could still have an all-Brazilian semi-final the way this is going, because if Fluminense get through, it'll be Palmeiras or Chelsea in the final 4. Here's Lima. Out to Everaldo, 2 substitutes combining on the right hand side. Flag is up though, offside, and a chance for Al Hilal to reset.
Yeah, letting them off the hook a little bit with a little bit of laziness, especially from the 2 substitutions. They've got their fresh legs, and Everaldo not getting himself back on side. But those substitutions have certainly made a difference.
Luke had a bit of a captain's expression there, as if to say, what are you doing? If you'd have been the captain, you'd have been right on them, wouldn't you? There?
Yeah, it'd have been like Inzaghi, absolutely screaming my head off.
Bit of space here for Ruben Neves. Time is the enemy for Al Hilal. Played out by Al Dostri to the left-hand side, and Al Harbi back it goes to Milinkovic-Savic, inside left channel, approaching the penalty area, rolls it into the box, nice little shift onto his right foot, now Malcolm, edge of the D, plays it square, Milinkovic-Savic went for the pass. He went for the pass to try and find Al Dostri, and it was set up for the shot, and Fluminense have just shepherded the ball out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's that man Ignacio again. He gets himself across, and the touch from one of the best players on the pitch with his quality, Milinkovic-Savic, just overhits it, and Ignacio just steps across, and I don't think he's even ready for it. Al-Dossari, he is clattered in his chin.
Made a change here. Mohamed Kano has gone off and he's been replaced by Hamdallah. Well, Hilal looking to change things up here. Milinkovic-Savic, he had his pocket picked there by Lima, didn't see him coming. Hilal have existed since 1957. They're one of only 3 teams to have played in every season of the Saudi Pro League since it started in 1976. They've been Saudi champions 19 times. They've been Asian club champions on 4 occasions, the last of which was 4 years ago. This is a big club in Asian football, and they are so desperate to represent the continent in the semi-finals. But Luke Chambers, if they're going to do that, they're going to have to improve in the closing stages.
Yeah, and this drinks break is definitely going to do them no end of good, because they came out, like I said, after half-time, after Inzaghi had got himself in front of them. They really reacted well, so he'll be hoping they can get his group of players together, because they're going to have to respond again, and they have come from behind in this tournament, so they're going to have to do it again. They're going to have to throw more bodies forward. I'll say it again, they're going to have to get Ruben Neves forward. He's still playing in the middle of a back 3 in his own half, and they're going to have to get players like Milinkovic-Savic, Leonardo, more service going into the box. They're going to have to commit men forward, and they've got 15 minutes to do so.
Just a bit more on Abderrazak Hamdallah, who's the guy who's just been brought on for Al Hilal. He is a striker. He's a Moroccan international. He's actually on loan from another Saudi club. He's signed up from Al Shabab, and that is an attacking change, and Simone Inzaghi has to make attacking changes. And Mohamed Kano had some nice touches but couldn't really get into the game. If you are just joining us, by the way, it's been a really topsy-turvy battle since what was a fairly sterile opening half hour, but Martinelli put Fluminense in front 5 minutes before half-time. Marcos Leonardo, who is now joint top scorer in the Club World Cup, equalised early in the second half. They had a good spell, Al Hilal, but Hercules has now scored as a sub in 2 knockout games running, and his neat and tidy finish into the bottom corner is the difference at the moment here on TalkSport 2. Fluminense 2, Al Hilal 1. Al Hilal looking to rescue it. And, you know, South American experts like Tim Vickery, for example, will tell you that the Brazilians are the real powerhouses in South American football. They're the ones who've amassed the most resource. They're the ones who've got the most power in the transfer market. And they've shown it in this tournament. They have shown that they are excellent sides who really can mix it with the best.
Well, they've been brilliant from minute 1, really. Yes, they had a bit of a slow start in that second half, but they were well within the game, took the lead with a fantastic goal in the first half, but they're a real difficult side to play against.
Really neat and tidy turn there by Arias on the left-hand side. His curling cross to the edge of the area, and the shot from Xavier was really well struck with his right boot, and it's pushed away superbly by Bono, who just flung himself to his left and hammered that ball away for a throw.
Yeah, it is a great save, but it's that man again. We've highlighted him 3 or 4 times now. Samuel Xavier finds himself in such great attacking positions, and that's his experience of 35 years old. But the way he struck the ball on the half volley was a fantastic piece of execution.
Xavier now on the right-hand side, touch to the touchline, infield to Lima, drops the shoulder. He's chased by Al-Dossari. By the byline, Lima's still got it, he's done brilliantly. It's found Xavier. It's gorgeous from Arias, nice little trick, scooping the ball away from his man. And to be fair, Al-Harbi stuck with him and put the ball behind for a corner.
Yeah, good bit of defending, but the way the Brazilian side kept the ball alive there, really in front of their own fans as well. Great reaction from them, and they'll be buoyed by that little drinks break and coming out from it with their front foot.
2 years ago, Fluminense, South American champions. Here is their corner, and the volley was pretty spectacular from Everaldo, but it was high, wide and not too handsome.
No, it looked like it was going to be an absolutely unbelievable bit of technique, and he lined himself up for it so long at the back post from the corner, but the execution definitely didn't happen as much as he'd liked it to.
Those are either in the top corner or the car park, aren't they? There's no in between with those generally.
More often the car park in the top corner.
Live Club World Cup coverage on TalkSport 2. Kevin Hatchard and the former Ipswich and Nottingham Forest player Luke Chambers giving you every kick of Fluminense 2, Al Hilal 1. Remember, Al Hilal knocked out Man City in the last 16. Fluminense knocked out the European runners-up Inter in the last 16. These are two teams who are here on merit. They're two massive football clubs, and we're into the final 10 minutes in theory of this quarter-final, unless Al Hilal can come up with a rescue act. Headed by Bernal, who's just gone about his work very tidily and calmly. And then Everaldo has a free kick given against him, but Facundo Bernal has just got on with it, really, just in front of that back line.
Yeah, he's kept his team ticking over, but he's done probably more without the ball than he has done with the ball this evening. But he really knits that back five, back four together with the front of the team.
Ball played out towards the left-hand side by Al Hilal, but it was seized upon by Fluminense, who suddenly find themselves 9 minutes plus stoppage time away from a Club World Cup semi-final. Looks as though Xavier is struggling and is down, and Luke, you spotted that pretty early on, and he now has gone down. Al Hilal have just played the ball out to allow him to have treatment, but Koulibaly thought he'd do it in a deluxe way and smash the ball into the substitution board.
Certainly didn't play it out, but no, back to Samuel Xavier. You could immediately see him pull up on the halfway line, and he's covered some serious ground today. But the players are reacting now to Koulibaly smashing the ball as hard as he possibly can. I think it actually hits the fourth official's notice board.
Yeah, I've not seen that before.
I've not seen many
Might need
people.
a new one. They're going to need another one. They've asked for another one to come out. That's how hard he hit it. That'll be a bill coming Koulibaly's way. I think he can probably afford it these days. I think he'll be all right.
But it shows you the frustration. He absolutely smashes it off the pitch as hard as he possibly can, and Fluminense have reacted to that now.
He was having an argument with Lima, and then a few players got involved, and it became a bit silly, really. Both teams are going to make changes here. We're going to have Ali Al-Boulaye possibly coming on. Well, actually, they brought on Caio Cesar, and yeah. So Al-Dosseri's gone off and Caio Cesar's replaced him, but they have taken off another player as well, Al-Dosseri. They brought on Ali Al-Boulaye. Samuel Xavier is replaced by Guga. It's a like-for-like change on that right-hand side for Fluminense. Al Hilal having made their changes. Ali Al-Boulaye is a defender by trade, 35. It's his 254th game for Al Hilal. Caio Cesar, 21, signed from the Portuguese club Vitória Guimarães. In the 84th minute, and Al Hilal have a long throw on the left-hand side. Towards the near post, headed away. Now it's Koulibaly in the centre circle. Fourth official probably hiding with that fourth official's board. No piece of tech is safe. He's not going to like it when the stoppage time comes up, I'm sure. Koulibaly just sauntering into the inside right channel. He's giving it away to Lima, and Lima's on the move here for Fluminense, and he just slowed it down and made sure the contact came from Joao Cancelo. Renato Gaucho in his cap just remonstrating with the officials there. He wanted a free kick for that.
Yeah, Lima did really, really well there. He's found himself with 4 players surround him, and I think Everaldo, he wanted him to make a run. He stopped behind him, but he brought the contact, got himself and his team a throw in just to slow it down now and try and run this clock down as much as they possibly can.
85th minute here on TalkSport 2. Fluminense 2, Al Hilal 1. As things stand, Fluminense, the Rio Giants, are going into the semi-finals. So Caio Cesar in his own right-back zone, a long way for Al Hilal to go, and they've lost it. Not really had much cohesion since making the changes. Fluminense, I think, have cost themselves less rhythm when they brought their guys on, slotted in a bit better. Of course, Hercules slotted in very well because his goal at the moment separates the teams. Full ball though from Lima over the top down the left. That's gone out of play, and that's going to be a goal kick.
But Kev, you make a good point there. When Hercules came on, and within 3 or 4 minutes his side are drawing 1-1, you're thinking, oh, it's me, I've come on, I'm trying to make a difference, and all of a sudden we were so comfortable and now we're drawing. So to have that confidence to really stick to the game, keep getting himself involved and take the chance the way he did, the way he dragged the ball as it just fell behind him with the outside of his right foot into his path, left Ruben Neves standing still, and it was a fantastic finish.
Here's Koulibaly. Al Hilal running out of time. Joao Cancelo midway inside the Fluminense half. Angle ball, clever ball. Looking for Milinkovic-Savic, who's slalomed away from a couple of players, but he ran out of room, and he was always stretching, and all he could do was poke the ball out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a good ball down the side from Joao Cancelo, but what they did so well, Fluminense, they had 3 men round him immediately, just crowding him out, punch in the air, walk themselves back to position now. Fabio will take his time as long as possible.
Fluminense fans have been absolutely terrific. And here comes Fluminense again with Arias dancing into the penalty area, but he took too long. He wanted too much space, too much time, and Al Hilal said no when the ball gets away from him and the attack breaks down.
Well, I mentioned about taking your time, but Fluminense got the ball back into play so quickly and played it over the top for Arias. He found himself in a great shooting position. He just turned it down.
Also a lovely run into the penalty area there by Al Hilal, and Hamdallah it's just jabbed away from him. Ruben Neves, right foot shot from range, but he cut across it and it went well wide of the far post.
And how many times have we been used to saying Ruben Neves lines up for a shot, and that's the first time that we've seen him do it, and it's come in the 86th minute of the quarter-finals. He's played too many times, too long in this game, in the middle of a back 3.
You've been crying out for that pretty much the whole game, and it's been a situation where he's been a long way from the areas where he generally hurts teams.
But I think it's not always about him scoring the goal or hitting the shot. It's about having that threat, which then sucks Fluminense players. They're going to have to shut him down as he will take the shot, which then creates more space for Milinkovic-Savic, for Aldosri, for Cano, for Malcolm, for Leonardo, which they haven't done enough of. It's been too much sideways, backwards, real slow, no one really trying to make too many incisive passes. And I think that's why they've found themselves on with minimal shots on goal, hardly any on target in the whole game.
Change in the base of midfield here. Thiago Santos, 35, has come on to replace Bernal. Arias trying to chase through the inside left channel, but beaten to it by Joao Cancelo. Clean challenge. 2 minutes of normal time to go. Fluminense 2, Al Hilal 1. First quarter-final of the Club World Cup live on TalkSport 2. The other 3 quarter-finals coming your way live on the TalkSport network. Now they're running down the left here, Al Hilal. Curling cross towards the far post. It was meant for Milinkovic-Savic. It's nodded behind by Freites, and that's going to be a corner to Al Hilal. Prayers are being offered by the Fluminense fans everywhere you look.
Lots of deep breaths now. Everywhere you look.
We're into the 89th minute. We don't yet know how much stoppage time there'll be. Fluminense 2, Al Hilal 1. Fluminense, second by second, piece by piece, getting a little closer to the dream. Simone Inzaghi has been booked. It's going to be a corner. He's screaming at Malcolm, I think. Not happy with where he's positioned. Here's Ruben Neves' corner towards the near post, headed away really well. Koulibaly went to ground, but the referee unmoved. Malcolm keeps it moving. Can Al Hilal make something happen? Approaching the final 30 seconds of normal time, and it's given away really carelessly, and Fuentes is brought down by Ruben Neves, and that's going to be a yellow card for him. And were they to somehow save themselves and make it through to the semi-finals, he would not play.
And it's just frustrations coming in there, and you see him there, real naughty challenge as they're breaking away. A poor ball, who's been able to step in, and I think they were calling for a potential penalty in the first part of the corner, but they couldn't. They're never going to get it. It's just this real frustration now in this Al Hilal side. They know that they're nearly on the end of a defeat, and they need to have a bit more professionalism and calm themselves down if they're going to create one or two more chances in this game.
If you look at the history of this competition, it's always meant a lot to Brazilian sides. They've always relished the opportunity to take on the best teams in Europe, but of course they're taking on one of the best teams in Asia here. But for a Brazilian side to get to the semi-finals of this expanded Club World Cup would make big ripples in Brazilian football. Of course, you might have two in the semi-finals if Palmeiras can also beat Chelsea. There was a check for the coming together, that possible penalty, but the referee Danny Makali is waving the play on, so there's no case to answer. We're into the first of 7 additional minutes at the end of this quarter-final. That's all that separates Fluminense from progress. Now Thiago Santos has overrun it. Al Hilal trying to win the ball. Thiago Santos was lying down on the field to try to play the ball with his face. Don't think you find that in a coaching manual. The free kick's been given to Al Hilal.
He dribbled it with his face.
He dribbled on it.
Whatever they've got to do now, they've got 6 minutes left.
I've seen a couple of things that I've never seen before in 25 years of covering this game. I've seen somebody absolutely boot the ball into the fourth official's board, and now I've seen a player basically perpendicular to the floor playing the ball with his face. Always learn something new in this game. Back here. And of course, actually, our producer Ollie has just reminded me that Phil Jones of Manchester United fame did have a knack of playing the ball with every square inch of his body in any way possible. He might have,
with tremendous facials.
He did, absolutely. Here come Al Hilal down the left-hand side, down by the corner flag. This little drop of the shoulder from Renan Lodi, who's pretty much a full-time left winger now. Ruben Neves, curling cross, took a deflection, and it goes behind for the corner. That was better from Al Hilal, and Simone Inzaghi, chastened maybe slightly by his yellow card, is a little quieter, but he's preparing a substitution here by the look of it. But it is going to be a corner in the 3rd minute of stoppage time as Al Hilal look to save themselves. They are going to make changes here. Malcolm is coming off, going to bring on Hamad Al-Yami, who's a former Saudi youth international, so he's on for Malcolm. Joao Cancelo going off as well. Musab Al-Jawaya is coming on. Ruben Neves to take the corner. They're crowding the far post, but Fluminense again brilliant in the air defensively. But it goes back towards the far post. It's kept alive by Ruben Neves. Bounces through the penalty area, and it's volley clear by Lima at full stretch. Hearts were in mouths there for the Brazilian team. Al Hilal flooding the penalty area. Can they get the right delivery? Played towards the penalty spot. Ignacio's there again. Only half away. Ruben Neves with the shot, and that nearly broke for Marcos Leonardo in the box. And the attempted cross by Caio Cesar is blocked by a Fluminense boot, and it goes behind for another corner. We've had 4 of the 7 additional minutes, and it's on the razor's edge. Fluminense 2, Al Hilal 1, and they have another corner, and once again it is Ruben Neves who all the eyes are on. Milinkovic-Savic on the edge of the 6-yard box, plenty of targets to aim for. Here it comes to the far post, guided away, bodies on the floor, they're queuing up in the middle, cross from the left is there, and it was just over the heads. Ruben Neves tries to get the ball in, it comes off Arias, it's another corner, it's almost unbearable pressure.
It's all hands on deck. It's panic stations, trying to get anything in the way, bodies on the line, clearing it. They have to try and see it out now. Another corner they've got to defend.
Ruben Neves to take. Again, it'll be an outswinger right-footed. Can he find a white shirt? Here he comes. Towards the far post, fisted away by Fabio. Brought down by the substitute Al-Yami. Again, they have it wide on the left. Again, it's a good ball in, but again, it's a brilliant Fluminense clearance. Every question they're being asked, they're finding an answer to. Freitas that time. Again, they work it down the left here, Al Hilal. Can they work a crossing position? Boos from the Fluminense fans, cross comes in, off a Fluminense head, goes behind for another corner. Still Al Hilal push.
I'm shrinking in my chair. I know how it feels to be in these positions, not quite at that level, but the way you have to put your bodies on the line, you're dropping 5 yards deeper than you normally would in these circumstances, and they just have to stay together. Fabio and Thiago Silva are going to be vital for these next few minutes in that experience.
Another corner. Ruben Neves again takes. Again it's to the far post. Again they clear it. Only to the edge of the area. Back in it goes. Goalkeeper was up. Bono came up late. Ruben Neves' cross. Is that too far? They've kept it alive. Koulibaly on the volley. He goes down. Referee actually is giving it the other way. Koulibaly is down, but Danny Makili has given it the other way, and I think he's going to book Koulibaly for diving here. Referee wasn't buying it, and is that the final chance for Al Hilal? It did really well to keep it in at the far post, and Koulibaly on the edge of the 6-yard box just went down in a heap for no apparent reason. Yellow card for simulation.
Yeah, and the ball was kept in, like you say, brilliantly, and the opportunity was there. The ball was just sat up for him, and he's missed it. He's tried to strike it, and you're expecting almost the net to ripple, and he almost misses the ball. I think he's kept in so well. On his left foot, he misses the ball completely, and as he gets up, he dives, and it's a very poor attempt, and we call it simulation, but it's an absolute embarrassment of an attempt to win a penalty for his side.
I mean, there's the tiniest flick, but there's not much in that. I think the referee got that one right. We're beyond the 7 minutes here. Fluminense a moment away. They just bang it long. Anywhere will do for the Brazilians, and the clearance is straight to Arias, who'll run it down the line. Are his team about to make the final 4 of the Club World Cup? Well, he's given away a free kick, Arias. Is the time to take it? Is the time for the Saudi Pro League team to save themselves just as they did against Manchester City? Or is it going to be the end of the road for them? Is Brazil going to be represented in the semi-finals of the Club World Cup? Long ball down the inside right, challenged by Al Hilal, flicked on, will it fall now? It was Koulibaly going in for it on the penalty spot. Goalkeeper spread himself and made the save. Could have gone anywhere. It's chaos in the Fluminense box. Here they come again down the left. Nice drop of the shoulder. Shot towards the near post is saved by Fabio. It was driven in towards that near post area. He saw it late, the 44-year-old, and second attempt, he patches the ball.
And it's been absolute pandemonium in these last couple of minutes. They get the ball forward so quickly, but it's that man again who's made some absolutely fantastic saves throughout the day, and he's dived on it. Real safe pair of hands. I think he's caught one as well at the same time, but he gets his team virtually over the finish line.
Well, just going back to the Koulibaly chance, it was a ball played over the top for Marcos Leonardo, and then the ball ran loose for Koulibaly, who just appeared from nowhere, And around about the penalty spot, he was denied by Fabio. And then the chance that they've just had was Musab Al-Jawir, who's only just come on. And he ghosted away from the player on the left edge of the box, and his right foot shot saved by Fabio. Fabio's just smashed it as long as he possibly can. 9 minutes of stoppage time we've had, and it's all over, and the dream is still alive for Fluminense.